Now let's get to that produce problem. 3 weeks into the cyclospora outbreak, new numbers released by the FDA and the CDC show there are no signs this outbreak is slowing down.
And now there is a new outbreak involving a different type of produce that has sent hundreds of people to the hospital with salmonella. Our consumer reporter Susan Hogan joining us in studio with this developing story, answering all these questions that people have. Let's start with these two outbreaks, Susan, that have led to recalls.
I know. Can you believe this? It's just like overnight we hear about this, right? So I want to talk about the cyclospora outbreak first, the one that is linked to the recalled iceberg lettuce from Taylor Farms of Mexico. It has now been expanded to 15 states. That is up 6 since just yesterday. And here's where there's so much confusion, though. So the recalled lettuce was distributed to 28 states, including Maryland and Virginia, which we've been reporting. But just because the lettuce was shipped to a state, investigators have not been able to connect illnesses in that state to the recalled lettuce. And we also know that cyclospora cases have been reported in at least 47 states, 15 of which we now know the source. The 3 states, though, that have not reported any cases, Jim, are New Mexico, Montana, and Hawaii. So far.
So far,
yeah.
Right.
So far. I have a question to ask you because I heard this and somebody said that the numbers are a little bit lagging, that somebody can get infected weeks later or come down with it, I should say.
Absolutely. No, symptoms and come down with it. 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks sometimes. So, so right now, let's take a look at this. These are what we have so far from the CDC as far as the numbers, right? So there are 6,300 confirmed cases, meaning that people who have tested positive in a lab for cyclospora. There are 278 hospitalizations and 2 deaths, as we reported last week. Now, the CDC is aware of more than 12,000, though, additional cases of cyclosporiasis. However, they're just waiting for confirmation from the lab before they actually put that in their actual case count.
Okay.
So what about this other outbreak we've just heard about this week? This is salmonella linked to jalapenos.
Exactly. Again, from Mexico, these jalapeno peppers. So the FDA is investigating this outbreak of salmonella. It has now sickened 345 people in 27 states. And these peppers, as I said, they came from Mexico. They were sold nationwide by a California distributor to some restaurants, including Chipotle and Qdoba. The company recalled the remaining peppers, and according to the FDA, the jalapeno peppers were not sold directly to grocery stores either. At this point, again, this investigation is still going on. And also one other thing, too, we don't know what other restaurants, they're still waiting on the distribution list as well.
So beyond the restaurants, are these products still on the market anywhere? Iceberg lettuce and the jalapenos?
Yeah, good question. And the answer to that directly is no. They have all been removed. So the iceberg lettuce is beyond its shelf life. That's gone. That's been removed, as well as the jalapeno peppers. They're still, they could be in your freezer if they're in the restaurants or wherever. But right now, they have been recalled and they have been removed at this point.
Wow. So cyclospora, you were talking about through the end of summer.
Yes.
Salmonella could be at any point during the year.
Yeah, and it's very true. But right now, again, we don't know with cyclospora that does have that shelf life. With salmonella, it can keep coming. There is no shelf life for salmonella, unfortunately, as well. But, you know, this is an evolving story. It's something that we are covering. It started in May, don't forget. And they only know at this point just one source, and that's the iceberg lettuce. We keep waiting to hear if there's going to be a new source. As I said before, we might get to the end of this and never know.
You've been out in front and all over it. Susan, thanks so much.
Of course.
Thank you, Susan.